All right, let's go, Bourbon Quest. It's your host, Bourbon Steve. Well, welcome to another edition here on Bourbon Quest. So, hey, it's a rare Friday night off for me. That's when I'm filming this. I'll put this up on Saturday, probably right around maybe 3 o'clock or so. Well, not that that matters to you, because anyways, I'll put it up probably like at 3 o'clock on Saturday, right before the UT Georgia kickoff. So go Vols, let's beat them dogs. Hopefully, we'll see. Hopefully it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be a really good game. So what are we doing tonight? Well, if you go back and look 2 videos ago, I did the Elijah Craig, this year's lineup of Elijah Craig, all 3 barrel proofs, A122, B522, C922, and now we're gonna attempt to do the same thing with the lineup of all 3 Larcenys, A122, B522, and C922. So, just to also, first off, hopefully I do better tonight than I did with the Elijah Craig barrel proofs. Stay hydrated, my friends. If you haven't already watched it, go back and watch the Elijah Craig. I end up coming out on the losing end of that deal, so hopefully we do better tonight. But yeah, so Larceny barrel proofs, and actually the only one that I had open, I went ahead and opened B and C. Both had not been opened yet, and I went ahead and poured those into the glass, as well as the 2 ounce infinity pour for each of the B and the C. So I've not had either one of those. I have, about halfway down on the A one. So just to give you a little information, and also don't pay attention to what glass is behind what bottle, because I'd already poured them. They've been mixed up using a very high-tech, sophisticated, and dangerous process approved by NASA. That's a bunch of bullshit. Bottom line is, I don't know which is which. But anyways, so I'm just gonna we'll just go through it. Johnny Fitzgerald was a Treasury agent who at the time was the only person legally allowed to carry keys to the brick houses. He often gave in to the temptation and freely took from the best bourbon barrels uncut at barrel proof. Today you can taste this liquid in much the same way as Johnny Fitzgerald Larceny barrel proof small batch bourbon is made from a mingling of 6 to 8-year-old bourbon that is bottled uncut and without chill filtration. This bourbon honors the superb taste of this lawless Treasury agent and the weeded bourbon legacy of the old Fitzgerald brand. So, I think this time has continued on. Larceny has gotten better with these. We'll see. Just to give you also the information, A122 is 124.4 proof. B is, I think, drops back down, 123.8 proof. And then C, the latest version, is coming in at C922, which is 126.6 proof. So I've gotten, I don't remember about A, but I know B and C from the people that I also watch on WhiskeyTube have gotten decent reviews. So we'll see how they go. So let's get to it. And again, I don't know which glass, what's in which glass, so don't pay attention to that. We'll just go through, nose them, taste them, rank them, and reveal them. But, so first one, I mean, just, you get that sweet wheat, corn, a little bit of barrel char, vanilla. I mean, you definitely, it comes off the nose, and maybe it's because I know these are, but I mean, I get that wheat for days. But, and at that proof, it's nice. The proof comes through, the wheat comes through, the corn comes through, and then just hints of vanilla and caramel, maybe a touch of cherry. All right, I mean, this is good. All right, cheers, Bourbon Quest. I mean, very sweet. Definitely get that wheat. Yeah, corn, vanilla. I mean, it comes off very sweet. You definitely get that proof. I don't get a whole lot of mouthfeel or a little bit of a hug. Not much of a finish. All right, I'm gonna stay hydrated. Try and get through this. Unlike the Elijah Craig one. All right, yeah. I mean, solid for, you know, all these at MSRP around 55, 60 bucks, I believe. I mean, especially if you like a good wheated bourbon and wheated at barrel proof. I mean, yeah, I think that's what you want, because if I'm not mistaken, that's what Pappy is a well-aged wheated bourbon at barrel proof. So granted, these are 6 to 8 years old, but we know that, you know, unless you get the Willy Wonka Chocolate Factory golden ticket, none of us are getting Pappy, but you can get these. So let's move on to number 2. The nose comes off a little bit more ethanol forward. You still get that wheat, caramel, vanilla, corn, a little bit more barrel char on this one as well. Cheers, Bourbon Club. I think some of that that cherry and then spice and then vanilla caramel, a little bit more spice comes through on that one. Even with it being a wheated bourbon, maybe that's the proof, but I think that I like the nose and the palate better on the second one over the first one. Yeah, definitely the nose is better. Cheers, Bourbon Quest. Yeah, this one has, I get more of a punch on the alcohol, along with better mouthfeel, deeper hug, better finish. Yeah, definitely 2 is better than 1, no doubt. All right, I'm just trying to stay conscious. All right, let's go for the third. Ooh. So the nose is a little bit more subtle on the third one versus the second, but there's a little bit more flavor on the nose. I mean, I still get that wheat, that corn, that cherry, vanilla, caramel, and then there's something else there. I'm trying to pick up on what it is. I don't know, it's there's something else there. You know what I think it might be? And I might have been forcing this on myself, but I get, there's something else there, and it's, I don't know if it's because we're 3 weeks away from Thanksgiving or whatever, but what's coming to mind is just a hint and a touch of like pecan pie. And now that I say it out loud, even a little bit more so. I think the nose is more complex on this. Maybe a little bit less proof on the alcohol, but a little bit more complexity on the nose on this third one. Cheers, Bourbon Quest. yeah, that tastes sweeter. I still get that corn, that wheat, that vanilla, caramel corn, and then I get that, I get that, like pecan pie on that. A little bit less on the viscosity, hug, and mouthfeel, but a little bit more on the flavor. Yeah, nose is more complex. All right, let's go back. Yeah, these two are gonna be close up. Man, these are hard to judge because this offers more hug, more burn, more viscosity, more mouthfeel, longer finish. But I think this third one offers just a little bit more flavor and complexity, both on the nose and on the palate. Just not as much proof or as much deep hug and viscosity. All right, I think I'm gonna rank them 3, 2, 1, but I'm gonna run it back to make sure. Trying to stay conscious and hydrated. Key. So, I think number 3 is gonna be first. Yeah. Nose is great on that. Yeah, it's got that, all those other flavors, and then that subtle pecan pie. I think that's going to be hard to beat. Although this does have more, I think, proof and viscosity and mouthfeel. But yeah, I like the flavor better on this one. And then the third one is a little lackluster. I mean, it's still a good value. I mean, I think they're all buy. Definitely whichever, well, we'll reveal them in a minute. Yeah, so I'm going to stick with it. So it's going to be first, second, third. All right, let's reveal the results. Dun, 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 dun. Let's start with number 3. Number 3, coming in third, is B522. So that means it's between the first release and the last release. So coming in second is A122. So that is, A122 is the only one I'd had before. And then obviously the first place is, yeah, the latest, the C922, which has gotten, from everything I see, probably renowned reviews, and by a lot of people, probably the best Larceny barrel proof yet. So, I think I picked mine up what are we in? We're at, what's today's date? Oh yeah, we're still in the first week of November. So I picked mine up right around maybe 2 weeks ago. Saw it in my well, I picked mine up in Kentucky, and then I saw it here in East Tennessee like a week ago. So yeah, be on the lookout. That's a definite buy. The C922 for sure. I would say the B522 is probably still floating around in some areas. I think you can go ahead and pass on that one. I mean, it's not bad by any means. By pass, I'm just saying that A and C are better. Not to say that it's not good or it's not valuable at MSRP. I probably wouldn't pay more than MSRP on any of these, except for, I might pay up to $100 on that ceiling for sure. So, all right, let's go back now that we know what they are. So, last place was, oh, that's because I got to put them now in front of the bottles. All right, so Dumbass. All right, so C922 was the winner. Yeah, and then second place was A122, and then last place was B522. Yeah, so yeah, let's go back and try them again now that we know what they are. So I mean, I'll probably go ahead and try and kill both. Well, not anytime, not tonight or anything, but I need to go. I've got so many damn Larceny barrel proofs. When I was trying to go pull out this video, I mean, I still have like 3 Larceny barrel proofs over there that are unopened. The ones that I know, I think a C920, and then there's one from both. Q. Meow. Q was talking. I tried to get him on here earlier, but it's been kind of a shitty week for both of us, so I think he's just a little over it. But no, he'll be back on the channel soon. But no, I had like a C920, one from 21, and then maybe another one from, I don't even know. I know I can look over there and see I got 3 unopened Larceny barrel proofs. So we need to start knocking these down. But anyways, did I do? Oh yeah. So let's go back now that we know what they are. I'll try and kill that first and get some of those others open and get some people over here to help me drink this. Especially if you're, you know, in the East Tennessee area. Let's say if you're anywhere between Nashville, we'll just give you 4 points. If you live, I'm in Knoxville, so let's give you 4 points outside of my central location. So let's go east if you're in Atlanta. Let's go west if you're in Nashville. Let's go east if you're in Asheville, North Carolina. And let's go west if you're in Lexington, Kentucky. If you're within that sphere, hey, reach out. Let me know. We're going to try and do some, definitely, we'll definitely do a meetup at the end of July for the 2-year anniversary of the channel. And then I wouldn't mind doing something, you know, in the late spring, early summer too. If anybody wants to, you know, reach out to me and let me know and come down to Knoxville. A lot of y'all have reached out to me. Hey, I do want to say, for those of you, if you haven't done so, I got to put this in. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That helps the channel. We're trying to get to 1,000. Let's get to 1,000. We got a ways to go. Spread the news and tell people to subscribe to Bourbon Quest. I'm going to bring you real content. I don't hide anything. Just like if you saw me passing out when I did the Elijah Craig barrel proof, you know, I keep it real. I keep it honest. People in my community know that they can trust what I say. Now, just because I say that I love something or that I hate something, your palate might be different. You might like something that I hate and you might hate something that I like, and that's okay. But I'm just here to give you my view, my opinion, and try and give you good advice all the way around, and hopefully try and take some of my own advice and stay hydrated, my friends. Ooh, there we go. But no, I'd love to do another meetup in late spring, early summer, and then definitely we'll do one at the end of July. But I do appreciate all your comments as well. So I said to hit subscribe. That does the channel a favor. And then I want you to do yourself a favor and ring that bell for notifications. That way you don't miss a damn thing here on Bourbon Quest, like when I passed out a couple nights ago drinking Elijah Craig. But no, I thank all of you for your comments. A lot of people reached out and said, you know, hey, I've been there. Appreciate you sharing. Appreciate you also addressing on the other video to where you aren't proud of that. That it's important to, at least the majority of the time, to drink responsibly. I don't expect any of us to necessarily adhere to that 100% of the time, but we should drink responsibly most of the time because that's important. But you know, sometimes when you're drinking barrel proof stuff's going to happen. I am doing this in the privacy of my home. I'm not driving or doing anything stupid like that. And if you are out at bars or restaurants and drinking, make sure you definitely, in that situation, make sure you drink responsibly. And if you are in a situation where you've overindulged, please call a cab or an Uber or have someone drive you home or nothing else. I'm a bartender. Ask the bartender, like, can you arrange me some transportation? We'll be glad to do it. I mean, I'll be glad to do it even if I have to pay for it, just because it's not worth the consequences. So let's go back through them. Oh, and also, again, what I was trying to say was I appreciate all your comments. A lot of y'all reached out to me, understood that you've been there, where you've had, you know, a little bit more overindulgence and came out on the losing end of that. And I think I'm not proud of it, but I do want to share it with you because it obviously happens to most of us, if not all of us, at least on occasion. Hopefully not often. But I think a lot of you recognize I'm the hardest working person on Whiskey Tube. I put out a ton of content. I work like 3 jobs plus this, and yeah, I appreciate all your support and comments, and even for those of you that, you know, made some comments like "get some help, man" or whatever. I know where you're coming from, and it might have been the first video you ever watched, so I can certainly understand that. But I think a lot of you realize I'm just trying to bring you content, that I love you guys, and I appreciate all your love and support. And so carry on, my friends. All right, let's rank them back. So last place was, again, the B522. I mean, still decent, still good, still solid, just nothing unique or charismatic about it. And then we go to A122, which is the one I've obviously had the most of, although it's been open for, what, 9 months or something. Yeah, it's got that, I don't know, it's got a decent amount of spice for a wheated bourbon, and like, I like it. But I think, without a doubt, the latest version, which is good news because that's one that should still be floating around out there for any decent bourbon quester to be able to get their hands on at MSRP. And I mean, I might pay up to $100 for that one. We'll see after I get hydrated. Alright, here we go. Yeah, the winner. C. I like it when C's the winner, because it just kind of builds up the anticipation throughout the year. At least that's my thoughts. Because I'm pretty sure I have to go back because I was a little drunk when I did Elijah Craig, but I'm pretty sure at the end of the day, C922 went out with Elijah Craig as well. Cheers, Bourbon Quest. Love you guys. Yeah. What I like about it is it has all those other things, and then that touch of, maybe a little bit more touch, maybe a smudge of pecan pie. I mean, to me, well, maybe it's because Thanksgiving is only 3 weeks away, but, well, I always do a video for Thanksgiving. It usually involves wild turkey. because after all, Thanksgiving, gobble gobble. And then we'll probably be trying to do a shoot, probably live for, excuse me, for Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. But outside of Wild Turkey 101, I'm saying forget the applesauce and bring Larceny C922. That should be your dessert. You don't need applesauce. You don't even need pecan pie, because this is pecan pie in a bottle. That's freaking right, bro. I am gonna do wild turkey, but I think that my dessert for Thanksgiving Day is going to be Larceny C922. Cheers, Bourbon Quest. Hey, let me know what your comments are. If you agree with my rankings, if you disagree, or just also your support. I mean, I can tell you without a doubt. Yeah, I hear you, Q. I can tell you without a doubt. I was a little bit embarrassed about the video 2 days ago with Elijah Craig. But at the same time, I just wanted to keep it real. I wanted to share the pitfalls and dramas of drinking too much barrel proof whiskey at one time. And granted, it wasn't, as someone said, I had a couple before, which is right, because I usually try to have 1 or 2 drinks before I do a video, just to kind of get my palate opened up. And maybe when I'm doing barrel proof, I should rethink that. But nonetheless, I think the majority of the people gave positive support and comments regarding my embarrassment with that. But maybe embarrassment is not the right word, because if I was really embarrassed, I wouldn't have even shared it. But I do want to always keep it real, bring you entertaining video, and more importantly, valuable information. So I hope it was all those, and maybe y'all learned a lesson. Like, hopefully I learned a lesson about why it is important to stay hydrated, why it's important to, you know, consume food before, especially drinking, you know, flat, maybe of barrel proof stuff. And maybe after a long work day and a little light on the stomach, I got overindulged. So hey, it happens. I'm sure it won't be the last time, but hopefully those are few and far between. And again, thank you for your support. Love you, Bourbon Quest, and cheers. And remember, most importantly, that my wish for you is that all your Bourbon Quest dreams come true. Haha! Can't believe. Go Vols! Beat them dogs. I'm predicting. Here's my score prediction: 38-34. Vols win it. Haha! I hope I'm right. We'll find out. Good night, Bourbon Quest. We'll see you real soon. Ha ha!